For too long, Illinoisans have tried to buy tickets to a show or an event, purchase a service, and a shop for basic necessities when they're hit with hidden fees at checkout. This deceptive business practice, drains thousands of dollars from Illinoisans' families every year. It quietly inflates budgets and makes life more unaffordable. Requiring businesses to disclose the full price of a good or service upfront isn't unreasonable. It is a basic standard for transparency and honesty that consumers in Illinois deserve. This law simply upholds honest and fair business, which our families need now more than ever as we continue to face a national affordability crisis. Families should not be nickel and dimed at checkout by corporations not doing business in good faith. Illinois is stepping up to uphold the high standard for doing business and protecting working families' wallets. While federal policies force Illinoisans to pay more at the gas pump and at the grocery store, Illinois is working to alleviate some of the financial pressure and protect Illinoisans' hard-earned dollars. We must continue to focus on affordability measures that allow families to make confident financial decisions. This law will put money back into the pockets of working families where it belongs. And that is the point. You know, affordability right now is sort of almost like as if it's a political slogan, and it's not. It's not for the senior who's deciding to look at their medication and cutting them in half because they can't afford their rent, and they're deciding between the medication to save their lives or the roof over their head. It isn't a political slogan for families that have to leave their homes for generations of selling a building in Humboldt Park because they've been priced out and have to go elsewhere. Affordability is a real thing to everyday Illinoisans and everyday Americans. We go to the gas pump and we brace every time we grip that gas that comes out because of a war that the president decided to get in. But the other thing is that this junk fees issue has been pervasive, unfortunately, throughout the entire economy. It is something where corporations have decided to find different ways to charge you more without consumers knowing. It is interesting that when Leader Morgan and I started this, we would bring different organizations, associations, and businesses to come talk about this junk fees. Everyone that they represent, they apparently did not charge junk fees. They didn't know what junk fees were. But if you ask consumers, every single person understands what a junk fee is. We all have had, unfortunately, that experience of going to a restaurant and looking at the menu and ordering, and all of a sudden you see another thing, and it's like a convenience fee. You're like, I didn't see this. Or when you go try to buy a ticket on an airline, and all of a sudden that airline ticket that seemed to be affordable and that you're going to take your family on vacation, all of a sudden was blown up. And you're like, I can't afford that. Or at a hotel, and there's all these resort fees or this or that. At the end of the day, what this bill does is that up front, you should know what you should be paying for. Simply, that's it. And that's what Illinois is doing. Bringing in transparency, making sure that we are protecting every single dollar that people have hard earned for their family, that they know what they're paying for.
I, along with Representative Said in the House, are sponsors of the two ticketing bills that include the bans on speculative ticketing and on bots, automated software. You know, during the debate on the Senate floor on these two ticketing bills, a colleague asked me a couple of times if I was a frustrated Taylor Swift fan who didn't get tickets when her tour stopped in Chicago 3 years ago. I don't want to offend any Swifties here. That was not my motivation. It's not my motivation. My concern actually was my teenage daughter at the time, who was and still is a huge Taylor Swift fan. I know any parent of a teenage daughter could relate to that situation. You know, while a shortage of high demand, expensive tickets tends to get more attention for the bigger name acts, the reality is these ticketing issues affect many artists and many venues similar to the one here at Concord. You talk with the smaller and mid-sized venues, and they're setting aside 5 to 10% of their tickets to customers who think they have tickets at the time of the event, but don't because of speculative ticketing. And it's great these venues are helping out these customers, but they're already operating financially on thin margins, and that makes their operations even tougher. And bots, these automated software programs, are scooping up tickets beyond the posted limit for these online sales, driving up the price of tickets. Fans should not have to compete against bots to attend a live concert. Fans are using their hard-earned money to buy tickets, and they're frustrated, and they shouldn't just have to shake it off. You got it, good. These two bills will add important consumer protections. It's time to end unfair, deceptive practices that drive up prices and limit fans' access to concerts and other events.
I first want to start by saying thank you to Governor Pritzker. When he listed off all the great things that he's working on, there were a few issues that I would be remiss not to mention. Homeowners insurance rates have gone through the roof at 33%. Our parents who have young kids are having a hard time buying school supplies and school clothes. Those are his priorities. And I know that there's legislation pending right now for a back-to-school sales tax holiday. I also know there's legislation that's about to be signed for homeowners insurance. Governor, I want to say thank you very much for getting behind those issues. Those are the people's priorities. Those are working family priorities, and we have a working-class governor we should be thankful for. So give him a round of applause real quick. My suite mate way back when I first started, Kwame Raoul, who's now the Attorney General, I've had the opportunity to work with his office for quite some time, and that's why we're here today with this bill. Thank you so much, Kwame, to your staff for all the guidance you give towards buy now, pay later companies. Our staff at the Senate, Ted Taros, who's our staff lawyer, many thanks to him, and to my chief of staff in the district office that hears a lot of our constituent complaints regarding buy now, pay later loans. Howard Robinson, who is the Command Sergeant Major of the Illinois National Guard. He just retired. We're honored to have him here as well. So thank you very much, Howard, for your service to our country. So for far too long, buy now, pay later industry has operated like the Wild West. It promises affordability at the checkout line while delivering hidden fees and debt traps that working class families can't sustain. These products often turn easy payments into long-term financial strain. As I've said before, these buy now, pay later loans get you a lifetime of desperation, whether when you're at the grocery store trying to buy groceries or running a tight budget, and it often becomes a loan shark with a new paint job. It's really interesting. Today is a special day because today's the day that Illinois fights back. This law requires lenders to, number one, register with the state of Illinois. They've never had to register before with the state of Illinois. They have to provide clear disclosures for the total cost of the loan. They have to assess whether borrowers can actually afford to repay the loan. And they have to maintain fair dispute and refund processes. One of the best things is that Illinois is one of the first states in the entire country to provide these consumer protections, and that's something to be proud of. We're not against convenience. We're for accountability, and we're for real affordability for working class families. And I want to tell the buy now, pay later programs that the Wild West is over and Illinois is the new sheriff. So working families deserve better than debt disguised as convenience. Our working class families are the strength of Illinois, and today we continue our fight for our neighbors and their financial stability. Governor, again, thank you for standing with our working families, and to every Illinois watching this bill is for you. So thank you very much. God bless you guys.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to keep up to date with news from the caucus. For more information on what the senator is working on, please follow them on social media using the links in the description below.